heard of a tiny house village? Well, stay tuned and we'll be right back with Hope's Village of SLO. Hello everyone, Maribel from SLO TV, and we are here today in SLO with the Vice President of Hope's Village of SLO, Craig Mesman. Hi, Craig.
Hello, how are you doing today? Thanks for having me.
Good, thank you, and thank you for having us here today.
Well, it's a lovely day, and it's always a good day to be interviewed.
Cool. Sounds fun. So, Craig, now can you tell me a little bit more about what Hope's Village of SLO is?
You know, I think probably the most basic way to describe it is it's housing with hope. And it is a way to offer hope to the unhoused. So it's a housing project first. It's to provide an opportunity for local homeless people that are willing to come to a place and abide by some simple rules to have a chance to get a real hand up to get back on their feet.
Got it. Now, are there any qualifications as far as you're required to be a villager?
Yes, not a fugitive from the law first, and then the willingness to abide by a basic set of rules, which is no drinking, drugging, and excess drama, no stealing, no violence to yourself and others, and then, of course, a willingness to participate in the activities of the village.
It's good. Now, as a villager, what are some benefits?
Well, the first one would be shelter. So the basic things that we as humans need is food, water, and shelter. And so right off the bat, it would provide that. But from there, it progresses to a place where you would have some stability and security. So as long as you're willing to abide by those rules and to contribute towards the workings of the village, you have a place to stay. And then so that offers you that, like I say, that security and that stability that other things that we have in our society don't offer. And so now say you have that gives a person the opportunity to work towards their future by carrying out a plan.
That's a really nice way of giving.
We think so. That's why we're doing it.
So that's really good. Now, because I know this is a very big project that you have going on, do you have any volunteers or any people that, kind of donate and help out here with the project?
You know, I got to thinking about that, and actually it is completely volunteer driven. I'm a volunteer, the president's a volunteer, the board of directors are volunteers. That's not always the case with all nonprofits, but for us it is. We have monthly meetings, and the folks that come there, if they take on a responsibility to help with something, they're a volunteer. Actually, ultimately, the people that will be the villagers that actually live there will be volunteers themselves. And so our hope is that when we have this village, that it actually reaches out to the surrounding community. So some of our folks we have plans for, they would help, perhaps like help the elderly with some of the things they might need. So they're volunteering to reach out back into the community and also reach out to the homeless in the community too. And then it'll also be an avenue for people that live in the surrounding community to come there and volunteer and to serve. So it's a two-way street, but it's basically all voluntary.
So, Craig, where is Hope's Village of SLO actually located?
Right now, it isn't. You're sitting in our first tiny house on wheels that we've constructed, and we use it for demonstration purposes. It's also a good place for an interview.
Yes.
But honestly, the one thing that we are seeking foremost right now is a plot of land to put this project on. And we, through our communication with the county, we understand that we need somewhere at least 10 acres, but that might be flexible, but the number that we use is 10, and it's to start something called an organized camp, and we can get a permit through the county to do that. And so what we're honestly seeking is 10 acres somewhere. It doesn't have to be within city limits. It can be obviously outside the city limits. What we would like is for it to have utilities. We're going to need to have, you know, sewer and water and all that, and electricity. But like the one we're sitting in is basically like a detached bedroom, and so it doesn't have utilities. So the utilities will all go to a central multi-purpose building, cooking, cleaning, dining, storage, meeting, all that stuff. And we would also like to have arable land, which is land that you can farm, because we think it's important to, for one, raise our own garden for food, but actually we'd like to be able to produce a crop for some income, because that brings up another big concept that we're seeking is self-sustainability. This isn't meant to necessarily be a charitable model that we're used to where it's just always on the receiving end. It's meant to hold its own. And so to continue to answer your question, we're looking for land, like it to be to have utilities, like it to be arable, and actually to also have it close to public transportation, like a bus stop, because lots of times that's an issue. Is we're going to have a fair number of folks that need to conduct business in town, and San Luis itself is kind of the hub for all services. And ultimately what we're really seeking, we don't have the money to buy this property, and we're actually not even wanting it to be gifted, although if it was, that'd be okay. If somebody had it in their heart to lease us 10 acres for a nominal amount every year, like say it's somebody that either has struggled with some of these issues themselves, or that's just the way that they'd like to help, so they don't even have to give up ownership. So we think that could be a win-win situation. So that's what we're looking for.
Very big project. So, Craig, how many of these tiny houses on wheels are you proposing to have?
30. That's our plan. And of course, like all plans, they can be adapted to different areas and different purposes, but for our purposes now, 30. And so on that 10-acre parcel, about 30 of these, which could house anywhere from 30 to 60 individuals.
That's good. Okay, Craig, can you tell me how we could contact you?
Yes, you can. First of all, you can go to our website, which is www.hopesvillageofslo.com, or you could find us on Facebook, Hopes Village of SLO on Facebook, or you can actually go to my own email, which is Craig G. Messman, CraigGmesman @gmail.com.
So how can people start volunteering for this project?
Well, the first way is we like to meet you and get to know you, so we have monthly community meetings, and it's the first Wednesday of every month at 10 a.m. in the Salvation Army building here in SLO, the corner of Choro and Islay. And so come there and let us get to know you, and we'll start from there.
Good. Okay, there you go, folks. Heard it from himself, Craig Messman. Take the time in and volunteer and help Hope's Village of SLO. SLO TV is outro. Stay tuned at www.slotv.net, and the show is produced by Miranda Marketing Labs at www.mirandamarketinglabs.com.